In the episode of The Golden Bachelor that aired this week, Mel Owens is introducing a new level of intimacy to the relationship. The final episode is just 1 week away, and it is time for Mel, who is 66 years old, to investigate his relationships with Peg, who is 62 years old, and Cindy, who is 60 years old, behind closed doors. As he stated, "It's possible I can be engaged in a week." He sought to convey how much he cared for each of the women, even though he has not yet disclosed to one of them that he is in love with the other. In response, Mel stated, "I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to sit back and let it happen on its own. Exactly like this is how I am." I don't use the term love very frequently. Not only is it weighty and loaded, but it also contains a great deal of significance, and it is possible to misunderstand it. There was only one time in my life that I fell in love, and that was when we got married and my heart was broken. Since I don't want to repeat myself, I won't tell anyone that I love them again. He went out on his first date with Peg. The two of them began the day by going on an excursion over the mountains of Antigua, and then they sat at a vantage point high above the water and drank some champagne. At the same time that Peg stated that she always likes spending time with Mel, she was beginning to question whether or not he was emotionally available because he often deflected from her inquiries regarding his sentiments. She elaborated, "Before I go to the fantasy suites, I want him to be vulnerable, open, and honest." She also stated that she wanted him to be honest. She made the decision to try to get to know Mel better by asking him directly how he felt about her when they were eating dinner together. His response was, "To tell you the truth, it's almost too good to be true. Because I adore being in your presence, and I adore the manner in which you communicate with me and the way that you make me feel. Without a doubt, you are stunning, and I admire the vitality and the enthusiasm that you possess. Sincerely, I do." In the end, Peg expressed her willingness to go on the overnight date in the fantasy suite, which was something that Mel and she were both looking forward to. According to what he said to the cameras, "I'm feeling so hopeful in the way that she talks to me and the way that she looks at me. That's love." The following is an excerpt from her own confessional in which she expressed her increased sense of self-assurance. "I am so excited to spend the night with Mel. The feelings are definitely there. There is no doubt that the feelings are present." The following morning, as they were lying in bed, the two teased each other about what had occurred when they were by themselves. Mel made a joke and said, "Don't give away the secrets." Yeah, that is most certainly not shot on camera. But despite that, it was enjoyable. Peg concurred, expanding by saying that they had a good conversation and that she witnessed a different side of Mel, which brought to light the similarities that had existed between their lives. "He makes me feel safe, he makes me feel seen, and he makes me feel heard, and those are the things that definitely will deepen a connection with somebody," she added. "He makes me feel heard, that I am seen, and that I am seen. I am taking a significant stride forward with this. I haven't experienced feelings like this in a very long time. You should realize that it has been years." Mel acknowledged that the previous evening was far better than expected. "If you woke up this morning, you would have been able to view the dawn. Having a wonderful woman by my side makes for a perfect morning." Cindy was his next date, and during that time, they went swimming with stingrays and spent some time on a boat exploring the water. On the other hand, she was anxious about the current state of her relationship with Mel before they went out on the date. According to her, "I haven't seen him since hometowns where I told him that I'm falling for him, and she hasn't seen him since then. There are a million times that I have pictured Mel getting down on one knee, but I am aware that Peg is also there on the island, and every minute that I am not with Mel, I wonder if he is with her." What a terrible feeling that is. In light of the fact that overnights have occurred this week and that another woman has been involved, that is the area of my life in which I have been injured the most deeply. So it's a little unsettling to not know how he feels about me and I. Mel, on the other hand, was under the impression that he had a fairly good understanding of their relationship. "I have strong feelings for Cindy, and each time I am with her, those sentiments continue to develop stronger and greater than I have for her. It seems to me that she would be an ideal partner for me. She exudes a specific chemistry and energy, and each time I am in her presence, I experience an incredible sense of well-being. Later on that evening, Cindy made the most of the opportunity to ask Mel a number of significant questions, one of which was why he was so uncertain about which lady he wanted to propose to in just a few days. The question that she posed was, "Is there something in particular that you're like? Between the two of you, this is what I'm considering?" He responded by saying, "I'm thinking about it." Not at all. That is simply a challenge. The fact that I have never been in this situation before means that I am still trying to figure it out in both my intellect and my heart. That is the truth, despite the fact that I am aware that the moment is soon to come to an end. Cindy, who was continuing to push back, pondered the situation and wondered where they would be if they removed Peg from the equation. However, Mel's response was still satisfying. According to his explanation, "I just think that regardless of what happens, the relationship will have to develop over the course of time. Is it correct that there are still moving parts? I mean, who knows? I've struggled with the fact that you don't really have any questions for me, and I've shared more of my struggles with you than I have with you," Cindy disclosed. "What is it that is stalling you? I'm sorry to bug you since I know it's unjust, but I really need to know the answer to this question. Could you envisage a future for us together? I'm curious about how you feel about us. Do you have any feelings about me? In my opinion, the chemistry that we share is absolutely off the charts." Mel told her, it just takes time for him to reach the stage she wants him to be at. And then he went on to reflect on the ways in which his previous relationships have influenced his reluctance to have a marriage. Despite the fact that Cindy was aware of his natural instinct to safeguard himself, she couldn't help but question whether his behavior was also a result of a lack of connection with her. "I've been vulnerable, and I want to feel that my partner is excited to move forward with me and to share their life with me," she added. "I want both of us to be able to move forward together. I just don't know what's preventing him from moving forward." Following the conclusion of the show, viewers were left wondering whether or not Mel and Cindy would be entering the fantasy suite together. Cindy posed the question, "So what do we do from here?" which left viewers guessing. Mel made a witty remark saying, "If there's a will, there's a way." This raises the question of whether or not there is a will. The response came from Cindy. As the season finale draws near, Mel's fantasy suite surprise has left fans on the edge of their seats. The highly anticipated moment of the season arrived in the latest episode where Mel, the charming bachelor, made a bold decision that has everyone talking. With only one woman remaining in the final days before the grand finale, Mel's choice to enter the fantasy suite with her was a moment of pure tension, excitement, and romance. In this pivotal episode, viewers witnessed the culmination of Mel's journey, where he's had to make tough decisions along the way. After a whirlwind of emotions, he finally made his choice, and it was nothing short of dramatic. The fantasy suite offers a chance for contestants to share an intimate and private moment away from the cameras, and it's often the most revealing part of the journey. This season, it was Mel's connection with one particular woman that stood out from the rest. As the episode unfolded, it became clear that Mel had formed an undeniable bond with his remaining lady love. Their chemistry was electric, and the moment they entered the fantasy suite felt like the perfect next step in their relationship. Fans watched as they shared their most vulnerable sides and expressed their hopes for the future. The chemistry was palpable, and it had viewers questioning whether this was the start of something truly lasting.